right. Let's see here. Are we going? Okay, looks like we're starting. I hope I didn't forget anything, but knowing me, I probably did. Oh, hush. I'm glad you're following me. Thank you. Hello, one and all. It is I, your host, Michelle, aka Chat-Mort, and thank you once again for returning to my humble little channel. This was very impromptu, very spur of the moment. I felt so awful about how badly my stream went last night, particularly with how dreadful my audio issues were, that I wanted to at least have something in my body of work that was somewhat more recent than that disaster. Everybody had a bunch of different ideas and suggestions as to how to fix the issue, and I tried most of those things. I unplugged and plugged my mic back in, both into the USB and into the snowball itself. And none of that helped. I restarted my computer, I checked all of my OBS audio settings, I restarted OBS several times, and that didn't help. So I reverted to what I always end up doing. Hi everybody, you guys can hear me, right? Please let me know if you can hear me okay. What I ended up doing was, of course, just having tech support husbando look at it. And he tried a couple different things, all the same things I tried, of course. And actually, he just hit the microphone really hard a couple times, and then the audio issue went away. So that really sucks, because I have only had this mic for about a year, maybe a little bit over a year. But yeah, that's all the longer I've had it, and whatever the issue was, it was an internal issue. So that really sucks, and I don't know what it was. But let's hope for now that it doesn't happen again. I'm just gonna test and make sure that my audio is working properly before streaming from now on, because I kind of took that for granted. And I'm not gonna do that anymore. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and do the sort of tests that I wanted to do last night before I had to improvise to the best of my ability. And yeah, literally, he just hit the mic a couple times and then it fixed itself. Is that what you were asking about? Yeah. I don't know. Also, reminder, switch to live chat instead of top chat, because this isn't Sesame Street. This isn't PBS Kids. We're all big grown-up people here, and we can handle scary bad words. So just a reminder, so you're not missing out. Yeah, that's all it was. So this was what I was kind of planning to do last night. I just thought I would try to find a couple interesting personality type quizzes to take, because I always want to learn more about myself, because despite the fact that you obviously kind of have to be sort of a self-loathing narcissist to make YouTube videos, I still know very little about myself. That, and when I did my recent stream where I did some test screening things to see if I had PTSD, and I explain in that video why I would ever suspect that I had it and why I'm interested in finding that out, sort of. I enjoyed that format because it's a little bit less awkward than sitting around, picking my nose waiting for people to show up for me to interact with. So I thought, just since this is kind of like a low pressure impromptu type stream, I would have something interesting to kind of fiddle around with while I am streaming. Real quick, there is one thing I must rectify here, and it is that the cats are in the computer room with me, which is not allowed by any stretch of the imagination. So I need to herd everyone back out of the room and shut the door, and then we can begin in earnest. Mira, please come here. Just one moment. Oh, honey, come here. Say hello to my sassy pants, everyone. Say hi, Mira. Mira is not happy. She did not want to be snuggled. She wanted to be destructive. Mira. Honey, say hello. Say hello, little soft girl. Mira is... Oh, she is not happy. She is the softest cat I've ever had. Or even petted. Stop. Mira. Oh. I've been defeated. Don't get on the desk, please. Okay, Mira is now on the computer desk. This is fine. Right, now I have a new boob scar. That's gonna go well. Anyway, this is my issue. This is the problem I need to rectify here. Just one moment, please. No, leave the room. Mira. I assure you this is not how I intended for this to go. Mira. Mira. Whatever. I'll get her out as soon as I can. What can you do? Anyway, actually, give me just a moment. I'm going to tweet out that I'm streaming, and then we'll actually start doing these goofy quizzes, and we'll see what we can find out. Do you see, like, I don't mean to be drawing attention to this area. I did last night a lot more than I meant to, because I didn't realize quite how low my shirt was until later, and I was like, oh my god, that's a little embarrassing. But see how sensitive my skin is? My cat, like, very gently launched off of my kind of, like, chest, sternum area, and now it looks like I have been mauled by a bear. So that gives you a bit of insight into my wondrous little life. Let me tweet out that I am streaming. Let me see here. I'm gonna get real creative here, actually. Maybe I can get on here. Yeah, there I am. Oh, that's an awful thumbnail. Okay, hold on. I'm going to actually do it this way. Okay. Just one moment. My cat is knocking all of the ornaments off of my not-so-Christmassy Christmas tree. That's good. I'm streaming again. /3 space. Okay. Cool. Alright, I'm so sorry. Just one moment, friends. Hi, Pink Floyd 16. Hi, everyone. Mira. Mira, stop. Stop. She has the gall to trill playfully at me. Outrageous. Anyway, cool. I'm not going to worry about that right now because there's not much I can do about it. So yes, I'm going to get into the tests now. And I have the rest of my bottle of wine that I have been nursing for several weeks and probably need to drink before it sours and turns all disgusting and chalky. And stuff. So, of course, if there actually are any issues, audio or otherwise, let me know. If the cat starts tearing things down in the background and I'm not paying attention, let me know. Don't hesitate to let me know. And without further ado, the first test that I found is something that I saw recommended on a bunch of different sites, actually, so it's kind of interesting because I've never heard of it before. I believe... Let me see. Is this the one? I think this is. I believe this is one of the tests that uses a system kind of termed the Big Five, which is like the 5 main factors that can, in a semi-accurate psychological way, basically define you as a person. And I believe there are 5 different traits that it measures as far as like introversion versus extroversion, things like that. So I believe this is one of those tests that actually measures those 5 different things. Hi everyone. Thank you for coming. Yeah, my mic is indeed back. I was telling everybody a minute ago that tech support husbando tried everything that I tried and a couple other things that I probably wouldn't know to try, being not the tech support member of the family. And what it boiled down to was that he just banged on the actual like snowball mic itself, and the problem fixed itself. So that was mortifying, and I'm upset and stuff, because that means that my mic that I bought maybe a year ago, a little over a year ago, is having internal issues that probably cannot be fixed. So whatever. There's not much I can do about it at this point. I am going to have to step away at some point when Mira comes out to shuttle her out of the room because she is super not allowed to be in here. And when tech support husbando watches this video later, he's not going to be pleased that I left her in here for this long. Anyway, as I was saying many, many moons ago, I am going to try this free test. Mira? She's eating something. I think she's eating some fuzz. I will be back in just a moment. I am so sorry. This is why I don't do this for a living. Mira, don't eat whatever that is. Come here. Come here. Come here, Sassy. Mira. Just one moment. Okay, she went back behind the bookshelf, so she's just gonna be in here for a little bit longer. Alright, that's fine. Anyway, right. Okay. This questionnaire, blah, 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 blah. The free personality test. Yeah, this is valuable information for choosing a career. Well, it's a bit late for me at 25, isn't it? Yes, like I was saying, this personality test measures the big 5 personality factors that were developed. I'm gonna vomit in my mouth because I drank too much wine. Over 3 or 4 decades by, several independent sets of researchers, etc. Okay, indeed, yes. This is fast, free, and reliable. Magnificent. You'll learn how you score on the 5 most important personality traits. Yeah, if I had actually read this before launching into a rambling explanation, I would have realized that everything I was telling you was actually right here on the screen, but I didn't realize that. So, okay. This questionnaire contains 120 statements. There's no time limit. Thank God. Most people take about 15 minutes. Please allow yourself plenty of time. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's very nice. Okay. Try not to use the neutral option too often. Okay. Describe yourself as you generally are now, not as you wish to be in the future. I hear her. I'm gonna have to grab her in a minute. Describe yourself as you honestly see yourself in relation to other people of the same sex and of roughly the same age. I see. Your spontaneous answer is usually the most accurate. Okie dokie. Okay. So as you can see, this is a pretty straightforward system here. Is it okay? Yeah, OBS is showing my screen. That's good. Seems like a pretty straightforward way of strongly disagreeing to strongly agreeing. So I'm going to do this. Hold on. As you can see, she's somewhere where I might be able to grab her. Yes, she's in fact right here under my feet. She's mocking me. Just a minute. I'm so sorry. Just talk amongst yourselves, dears. Come here. Okay, for real, this is the last time we're talking to Mira before I send her out in the hall. Mira, say hi to everybody, baby. Smoothie. Smoothie, look. Smoothie. This is Nymira. She is the sassiest of sassy pants. She's very, very soft. And she likes making mischief and stuff. Mira. Mira, say hello. Stop frowning. Her tail is going crazy. She is so mad. I know. Okay. Okay, I'll put you out in the hallway. Okay. Go on, baby. Okay, cool. Now that's taken care of. Let's actually start the test. Now covered in cat hair. Beautiful. I am a worrier. Yes, I worry all the time. I'm trying not to worry nearly as much, but I still do a lot. I have a vivid imagination. Yes. Wait, no. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I make friends easily. No. I'm terrible at making friends. I'm terrible at maintaining friendships. I just don't know how to maintain friendships. I don't know how to get close to people. I'm really bad at it. I have a vivid imagination, yes. I trust others. The thing is, I think I have a disposition to be extremely trusting and naive when I shouldn't be. So at this time, I would probably put neutral, just because I'm swinging back from being too naive. I'm starting to learn that you can't trust people unless they prove themselves to be trustworthy. That's not one of those things where you can give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's not safe or smart to do that, you know, in your personal life or with coworkers or anybody. I get angry easily. Not really. I had a terrible temper when I was little, but not really. I really enjoy large parties and gatherings. No, I hate them. That's why I've never... Oh, a gnat, hello. That's why I've never been to a concert, and I never will. I have no intention to. Like, that's also why I'm not going to have, like, a big wedding or anything like that. I can't imagine, of your own volition, you know, optionally putting yourself in one of those horrifying situations where it's loud, there are a ton of people around, you're not safe, it's not a quiet, secure place. I cannot fathom doing that intentionally. I think art is important. I think it is. I think it's very important, but I also don't think that it's more important than philosophy or like current events and geopolitical events, etc. So I'll say yes. I do think art is important, but I don't think it's of the utmost importance, hence the 1+ instead of 2+. I use and manipulate others to get my own way. A very small amount, I would say, to the same extent anybody else does. Like, if you want to get something from someone, you know, if you want someone to help you at the store finding something, or on the phone, you know, you're cordial and you're polite, or, you know, you try to act kind of sweet and sort of submissive almost if you're asking somebody about their expertise, because it makes people feel good to be able to help you with something and to feel like they're superior to you, not necessarily in a way that stems from insecurity, but, you know, I mean, I think to an extent I do kind of alter my demeanor to get what I want from people, but I don't think there's anything nefarious about that. Just in the way that you could perceive someone to be using the person taking orders, you know, at like a fast food restaurant, or you could perceive yourself as using someone who you hire to like install flooring or something, or like to clean your siding of your house or something. So not really, but kind of. I don't like things to be a mess. I like to tidy up. Not really. I think my depression is somewhat less severe when things are tidy, but I don't care enough to go out of my way to clean like our bedroom. Like, the rest of the house is okay, but I've never been the kind of person to clean my own room, and I don't enjoy cleaning by any stretch of the imagination. I often feel sad. Yes, not all the time. Sometimes I just feel numb. Every once in a while I'm actually like happy, but I'm gonna put yes. I like to take charge of situations and events. No, not really. I experience deep and varied emotions. See, you're supposed to go with your first instinct here. You're not supposed to like overanalyze these things, but I really don't know. I experience deep and varied emotions. I'm going to say yes, although a lot of the time I just feel numb. I love to help others, absolutely. I keep my promises. I'd like to think I keep my promises, but I'm also very forgetful, and I'm terrified of, you know, interaction and like commitments and things like that, so I can't go like the whole way with that one. I find it difficult to approach others. Absolutely, yeah. It's so bad that like I'll be at work with the same people I've worked with for over a year, and if I hesitate for even a moment before asking one of them for help, or to ask them what they think about how I should handle a situation, I get stuck in my head to where I'm too scared to talk to them. And it takes me like 5 minutes then, once I let myself get into that rut, to psych myself up to even ask something of people who I should be perfectly comfortable with and who are in no way threatening, to me. So no, I find it extremely difficult to approach others. I'm always busy, always on the go. No, I like to be busy, but I'm not a lot. Just because when I'm not working or running errands, I'm at home, and it's fairly solitary for me. I prefer variety to routine. I'm gonna say no. Normally, if something is sprung on me at the last minute, I freak out. I do, however, think that it's rewarding to have a variety of activities and locations and tasks to do, just like going on walks or going to a new restaurant or anything like that, reading a book of a genre you're not interested in normally. So I can't go like the whole way to strongly disagreeing. I love a good argument, a good fight. Not really. I think I could if I took like debate classes and stuff and practiced. I think I could learn to love it, but I just lack the confidence, and I'm so terrified of rejection that at this time, no. I work hard, yes. Not all the time. Some days I'm lazy and I'm tired and I just feel bad for myself, but most of the time I put my effort into everything I do. I overindulge and go on binges. No, that's just not in my nature. I love excitement. Sort of. It depends. If it's something that I seek out and it's not something that is forced on me, I enjoy it a lot. But if it's like 8 people come over and we weren't planning on it, or if like 12 people come into the little like cubicle area where I work all at once, stuff like that really makes me panic. So I have to go neutral there. It really could go either way. I enjoy reading challenging books and articles. Not particularly, and when I was younger I was better at it, but I have so many issues just making my brain function to a normal, acceptable level that anything that really requires me to think critically, or anything with really, really complicated sentence structure or a lot of vocabulary incorporated in that I'm not familiar with, I don't enjoy it because it's extremely hard for me to follow along. And I'm hoping once I get off of my, like daily dose of Zoloft, I think that will change a lot. But currently, no, I disagree with that. I believe that I am better than others. No, I usually believe that I am inferior to others. I'm always prepared. I wish I was. I make attempts to be, but no, not really. I panic easily. Yes. That's yeah. Definitely. I am a really cheerful person. See, outwardly I'm cheerful. Inwardly I'm extremely depressed and hopeless a lot of the time. Just oversharing, because this is the oversharing show. We all are very aware of that by now. I think just because I really respect other people, and I think that every interaction is an opportunity, and every person that you interact with deserves respect and deserves consideration, and because I want to help people and I want to make people's lives a little bit easier, I have a cheerful outward demeanor when interacting with people. Inside, I'm very pessimistic. I don't know. So I just have to go neutral on that one. I tend to support political candidates who favor progress and reform. No. I sympathize with the homeless. Of course I do. I am very spontaneous. I act without thinking. No. Every once in a while I'll do that if I'm just so tired and I'm in a rut that I have to go seek some bizarre new thing out, like going to a new place or just, going on a walk with somebody like in a part of town I've never been to before. I will do that, but it's not part of my nature. I'm so sweaty because it's so hot in here that I'm like sliding off of my chair. That's disgusting. I fear for the worst. Yeah, I think about that all the time. I feel comfortable around people? No. It's like I'm a consciousness plopped into a completely foreign vessel every time I'm around other human beings. I have no idea how to function. I enjoy wild flights of fantasy. What does that mean exactly? Hold on. My phone is not cooperating. Let me see. I'm sure that's not nearly as complex of a term as I'm making it out to be, but let me see. Does it just... It has to just mean, like, mentally. Let me see. Okay. An idea, statement, or a plan. It's imaginative, but... Let me see. It's imaginative, but not at all practical. This is kind of... I get the impression that this is kind of like the Tumblr thing that everybody jokes about, where like you lay in bed every night fantasizing about like the best comebacks you could have had when somebody was mean to you, or like, sweeping the person that you admire off of their feet. Like you lay in bed and you just think about all these scenarios. I would say yes. More often than not, yes. I believe that people basically have good intentions. No. I think that man is inherently selfish and lazy. If we were inherently good, there would be no social utility to religion, to like societal cultural values. If we were inherently good, stuff like socialism would work. It's the inherent greed and selfishness of man that keeps things like socialism and communism from working. So I'm gonna say no for that one. When I do something, it burns where she kicked me. I always do it well. I don't know. I certainly try my hardest. This is gonna take forever, my dudes. I get irritated easily. I don't know. Like, in regard to anxiety, I would say things start to grate on my nerves and feel like little electric shocks through my nerves very easily, like the littlest irritating sound. I'm just going to say neutral because I'm really not one way or the other on that. I always chat to lots of different people at parties. No, I don't go to parties. I see beauty in things that others might not notice. Yes, I would say so. I don't mind cheating to get ahead. I mean, I've done a few things. I've like cheated on tests in middle school. I mean, I'm not perfect, which is why I'm not... Well, I don't mind cheating to get ahead. In that case, I'm going to say no. Like, I'm not perfect, but as far as minding, I do mind. I'm riddled with guilt the few times in my life I've cheated in any way. I often forget to put things back in their proper place. That is basically the entirety of my personality. I dislike myself. Yes. I try to be in charge to lead others. No. I am empathetic. I feel others' emotions. Yes. To the extent that I cannot function most of the time. I am concerned about others. Yes. I tell the truth. Yes, but I'm not going to say all the time. It's one of those things I'm too desperate for approval and affirmation from other people. Sorry, I'm so sweaty. and I'm too afraid of conflict to be like completely honest, uncensored all the time, or even to the extent that is probably good for you and other people. I'm afraid to draw attention to myself, yes. That's why I'll sit at my desk for 30 minutes before asking, hey, where did you want me to file this thing? Or what did you want me to ask, so-and-so? I never sit still. I'm always on the go. That's not true. I prefer to stick with things that I know. Yes, I'm more or less a creature of habit, I would say. I shout and yell at people. No. But it's taken pretty much the entirety of my growing up period to get a handle on those anger issues that I think I have a propensity toward. Let's see. I do more than what's expected of me. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle on that, to be perfectly, brutally honest with you. Hold on, something's happening. New subscriber. Why? You people have terrible taste. Okay. I rarely overindulge. Oh, okay. Do I overindulge? I just don't do anything. I'm like mold or I'm just like a fungus. I don't really indulge much. I go out of my way to seek adventure. No. I avoid philosophical discussions. No. I enjoy them. I enjoy being challenged. I'm not very confident at engaging in philosophical discussions, but I don't avoid them. I think highly of myself. No. I get the job done and carry out my plans. No, I would say a lot of the time I'd say a lot of the time I stagnate and am held back by my own pessimism and fears, and mostly just fears. Knot in my hair. I become overwhelmed by events. Yes. I have a lot of fun. No. I believe that there is no absolute right or wrong, not at all. I believe 100% in objective morality. I feel sympathy for those who are worse off than myself. Yes, absolutely. I make rash decisions. No. Funnily enough, funnily is a word, is it not? I got this question on Ask FM recently. Ask FM is an app where you can either ask people questions as yourself or anonymously, or you can just get shout out questions, which are sent by people sort of in the same proximity to you, although whether that is like within the same town, within the same like region of the country, I don't know. But Ask FM is where you can ask and receive a whole bunch of different questions and answer them. And it's kind of a cute app. That was actually asked very recently. Somebody asked, so you jump into things without any forethought? And my response was, no, that is in fact the opposite of me. It takes me 15 minutes to decide to get up from the chair to walk 5 feet to the cupboard to get a handful of Starbursts. I am very meditative, I guess. Part of that is just sort of a malaise and a disinterest with existing, but no, I think everything through and consider everything probably longer than is practical. So I'm going to strongly disagree there. Oh, good night, G-Money. Thank you for showing up briefly. I'm afraid of many things, yes. I am very afraid. I avoid coming into contact with people if I can help it, yes. And I wish I was not that way, because I think that a human interaction is probably one of the most important parts of life. You know, reaching out to and connecting with other people, I think is integral to everyone's purpose. I'm so sweaty, I'm gonna die. When we move out of here in a couple months, I will be in a place with central air. And then I will be able to have air, and you'll be able to hear me while I am being cooled as opposed to fried. So it will not be this way forever, I assure you. I love to daydream. Yes, I do that all the time. I trust what people say. I'm neutral on that. Again, like I said earlier, I think my mom is very much this way too. My inclination is to be very naive and very trusting. And part of it is because I'm not being braggadocious whatsoever. I am kind, I'm selfless. I don't ever want to be rejected. I want everything to be okay. I want everyone to be happy. I want to be good enough. So because I cannot fathom doing anything manipulative to someone else or doing anything cruel or dishonest to anyone else, my inclination is just to be very, very trusting. However, I've been around for a quarter of a century now, and I realize that you're not going to survive very long in any environment if you are too trusting. So that's why I have to be neutral on any of these questions about trusting what people say or thinking that people are trustworthy, because I am tempering my natural propensity to be really, really naive with experience and knowing that you basically cannot trust people unless they give you reason to trust them. That's not something that you can give out. That's not one of those areas where you can give people the benefit of the doubt. I did get my audio back to normal. Oh, is it quiet? Let me know in the chat, you guys. I left my audio about halfway up in OBS. If you guys want me to turn it up the rest of the way, I can, or if it's just easier for you guys if I leave it as is and you just turn your audio up on your end, let me know, and I'll try to remember what the hell you're talking about in the chat. When you respond 30 seconds from now, just let me know if you want me to turn up my audio on my end here. And hi, White Squall, I'm glad you're back. Grumplebee. Oh no, someone's been summoned. Okay, is it quiet? Okay, I'm going to turn it up, but I'm going to turn it up at very small intervals because I don't want anybody's eardrums to be blasted out if they're far away from whatever device they're listening to me on. Okay, I'm gonna proceed with this nonsense, and you guys let me know if it's okay. It's running a little quiet tonight. Hi, Cabaret Macabre. Macabre. Okay, I'm not gonna do the thing. Okay, nope, I'm gonna turn it up now. Okay, I hope this is not too loud for anybody. If it is, I apologize. I handle tasks methodically. No, I am all over the place. You should see me trying to get eggs scrambled and toast toasted at the same time. Like, that is almost a superhuman feat for me. I don't know how to approach things methodically at all. I frequently lose my temper. No. I prefer to be alone. Yes, but I'm not going to go the whole way yes. Simply because there have been so many times in my life when, because I am solitary and an introvert naturally, I have let myself get so isolated that I'm horribly depressed, and I forget how to reach out to even, like, my best friends, like my lifelong close friends. So I'm not going to go the whole way to agree on that. I do not like poetry. I love poetry. That's absurd. I take advantage of others. No, I do not. I always leave the place in a mess. I'm going to be neutral because it really depends. Like, my own spaces are very messy most of the time. When it comes to anything else, like living room, places where other people are going to be, or when it comes to other people's places, whether that is a restaurant or anything like that, I'm very respectful, and I always clean things up. So I have to go neutral on that because it's kind of a vague question here. That's a good volume level? Okay, good. Okay. If there's any other issues with anything, please, you guys, don't hesitate to let me know. Just because if I've got an internal issue with my mic, you know, it's quite possible that it's going to become a problem again in the near future. So please let me know if there's ever any problems here, besides the fact that you have so little to do that you're watching me do this. Delicious $6 wine, my favorite. That happened. This is gonna look like I was mauled, you know, for days. It's gonna look horrible. My cat just gently kicked off of me, but it looks like I was attacked horribly. Alright, I am often down in the dumps. Yes. I take control of situations. No. Even if I want to, I do not. I rarely notice my emotional reactions and feelings. That's very untrue, and that's mostly just because I have been through so much therapy of a variety of different formats that I have learned mindfulness skills, you know? And that's something that, you know, even if you don't really deal with depression, mindfulness is something that is beneficial to everybody. So I try to stay very, very attuned to my own mental and physical responses to things, because that's how you manage to get those things under control, you know, and that's how you learn to adapt and get through stressful situations. I am indifferent to the feelings of others, not at all. I am almost crippled, if you will, by my empathy. I break rules. Sometimes. I have to go neutral because the thing is, like, what makes certain things fun is that they're subversive and forbidden. However, I'm the kind of person who will go the speed limit and use my turn signals even if I'm in a deserted town in the middle of nowhere. So I have to go neutral on that. I don't know how to more accurately answer that one. I only really feel comfortable with friends. Absolutely, yes. I only can really be myself when I'm around the maybe dozen people that I really, really love and feel close to. I do a lot in my spare time. No, I wish I did more, but I do not. I dislike changes. Yes. Actually, yes. I insult people. Not really unless they talk about, like, all men being trash or, you know, things like socialism is great. Then I'll insult people a little bit. I try not to. I do just enough work to get by. No. I wouldn't say that I go, like, above and beyond all the time, although I absolutely, unless I'm having a terrible day, I always do everything to the best of my ability, and I do what is asked of me, or what is required of me. However, I never do just enough work to get by. I don't do that because I consider that to be disrespectful. More than out of any sense of self-preservation, as far as, like, you know, work, school, just interacting with other people. I don't have enough sense of self. I don't care enough about my own well-being for that to be my motivation there. But the reason why I do my job, whatever the job is in that situation, is because I don't believe in being disrespectful to others. I don't believe in really, like, taking advantage of others. So I do what I'm there to do, and I do what I need to do to make everything, you know, just run smoothly, I guess. Does that make sense? How stupid is the rule? That kind of question always bugs me. I know. Okay. I easily resist temptations. I'm trying to think. See, the thing is, so much of my personality is just apathy that I don't even really, like, look at things in this way. I easily resist temptations. I'm gonna go neutral because I don't know how to answer that. I enjoy being reckless. No, not usually. I mean, sometimes I'll, like, run downstairs to get, like, a Diet Coke in my underwear and just pray that nobody sees me. And that's kind of thrilling. But on the whole, no, I don't really enjoy being reckless. I have difficulty understanding abstract ideas. No. I have a high opinion of myself. No. I waste my time. Yes. I feel that I'm unable to deal with things. Yeah. Things that you should be able to handle. Pardon me. I'm going to put my my glass full of ice cubes on my owie scritchies. Things that should be semi-challenging at most for people to deal with will bring my life and my ability to function psychologically to a screeching halt. So that's why I'm making that like an extreme agreement. Yes. I love life. No. I tend to support political candidates who favor conventional and traditional views. I do. And not just for that reason, not due to the merit of like traditionalism itself, but yes, I tend to support conservatives. I tend to support people who have reverence for founding principles and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm so hot. I don't have a hair floopy in here though. I took my floopy out in the bathroom. I'm gonna have to put my hair up. I had it down so I would look a little bit less awful, but I'm gonna have to put it up here. Hold on. I am not interested in other people's problems. That's not true at all. I am very interested in other people's problems. And you might know that if you see my Twitter, because I'm always like, do you guys have any depressing documentaries to recommend? Like, I've watched everything on the Holocaust. I've watched everything on progeria. I watched everything on cannibalism and like horrible like psychopath sex dungeons. Like, I'm out of things. So I am very, sometimes not for the most charitable reasons, but I am usually interested in other people's problems. I rush into things, no. I get stressed out easily, yes. I keep others at a distance, yes. See, this is one of those things, whatever this little like portion of the test is measuring, I'm going to be way at one end of the spectrum, I can tell already. When they say I do a lot in my spare time, does farming for a Cobra sniper rifle on Borderlands 2 count as doing a lot? It took 3 hours. Man, I have no idea how that would be categorized. I don't know. You know, I think our culture is still very biased in a very not fact-based way in regard to gaming. I think there are many, many merits to gaming as far as interpersonal abilities, meritocracy, just understanding technology, you know, beyond just the hand-eye coordination stuff. I think that you do accomplish a lot when you're gaming, and I look at it that way myself because just because gaming forces me to focus wholly on something, and because if I'm doing anything multiplayer, that's a huge effort for me. You know, I always consider gaming to be something of an accomplishment when I do it. So, I don't know. And an armpit fetish too. Actually, I haven't shaved my armpits since yesterday, so if you're into prickly armpits, you are. Like, comment, and subscribe, man, because you're in the right place. I'm more centered on political matters, as I think most people are, but the left's current disregard for traditional things that work for 99% of people, because they don't work for 1%, is crazy. Yeah, exactly. I agree, and of course that does not... Everybody's experiences, as much of a like pandering motherly Tumblrism as this is going to sound like, everybody's experience is valid. Everyone's lives are valid. Everyone's proclivities are valid. But the thing is, if you govern, if you legislate based on the like 0.01% of people, everything's gonna fall apart, you know. And I don't know. I understand the wanting to be kind of in the middle, or ending up kind of in the middle politically, because there are a lot of ways in which liberalism and acknowledging and making sure to protect those minorities, there are many ways in which that's extremely important, and ways in which we neglect that hugely as it is. Sorry. You know, and I'm conservative, but it's more, I'm conservative due to the leftist positions more than I am due to the conservative positions. You know, it's not that I think like, I don't care about your sexuality or your gender identity or any of those crazy things, or any of your issues as a racial minority. You need to grow up and get over it. I'm not of that mindset. I think I'm kind of like you in that regard, where the left pushes me to be centrist, to be more right-leaning. And now there's water dripping all over my mammary glands. That's lovely. I'm definitely not going to get my channel taken down now. What kind of games do you generally like? Grumplebee of Bee says, your name is adorable, but I've had like 2/3 of a glass of wine, so I am gonna butcher it. What kind of games do you generally like? For me, it's all over the place. I'm not gonna get through all 4 of the tests that I had lined up here tonight. There's no way, as long as this is taking. I like strategy games. I like a lot of just like games on Congregate, if you've ever been on that site. I love stuff like Don't Starve. I love stuff like Minecraft, of course. I like sandbox games like that. I love Animal Crossing. I loved Harvest Moon, the first one. I love any kind of simulation. I love like Roller Coaster Tycoon, stuff like that. I love The Sims, of course. And a lot of the games I like are kind of cliched. I like games that are story driven. Like, I don't like RPGs per se, but I love stuff like Undertale. I love things that are character driven, story driven, lore driven. I loved Five Nights at Freddy's, the original one. I thought that it was an absolutely brilliant idea. I don't know what kind of games I like. Every once in a while I'll get really, really immersed in something like Breath of the Wild. I got really immersed in for several months. Some of the games by, what is the studio? Atlas. Most of them are like for the DS or, like things like that. A lot of the kind of weird niche games by Atlas I really like the Touch Detective game. There's a game called Contact by Atlas that was for the DS. I like a lot of horror games as well. I mean, I love the stuff that's very cliche and very uncool to like, of course. I loved Five Nights at Freddy's. I loved Slender. I love that. I would still play that game if I had the old version that was easier to beat, like where the fog didn't turn on automatically. Like, I would have that. I would play it all the time if like the laptop that the version I liked and had downloaded on there wasn't dead. There was a really, really cool game that was kind of Silent Hill-esque. It was called Dementium or Dementium. I don't know how you say it. But Dementium was a DS game. The first one was not as good. It was called Dementium the Ward, I think. And the second one, Dementium 2, is the one I played. And I was obsessed with that game. It gave me horrible nightmares for about a month. It was very, very much silent. It was very Silent Hill-esque, I guess. I don't know how else to put it into words otherwise. It was a horrifying, terrifying game. I passed it around to a bunch of my high school friends, and it scared them so bad none of them could play it. So it's it's very much all over the place as far as the games I like. I loved, if you've ever played The Ship, The Ship was a multiplayer game. The Ship is the best game ever. Unfortunately, the game devs, the studio that made The Ship, just abandoned it. They don't update it anymore. There's no way to create servers anymore. They just abandoned the game altogether. There's no support for it whatsoever. So, The Ship is my favorite game of all time. Have you tried 7 Days to Die? I have not. I think I actually have it. I played a lot of the first Disgaea. Yeah, I've never played any of the Disgaea, but I've watched Tech Support Husbando play it, and it's adorable, and I love the character designs. Hello, Samurai Destroyer. RPGs are awesome, though. I listen to Final Fantasy soundtracks. See, I know nothing about Final Fantasy. I know that Sephiroth exists, Until very recently, I still got Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy characters mixed up. I know like nothing about Final Fantasy other than that people like it a lot, unfortunately. You go on Congregate a lot as well, trying to find something decent right now, coincidentally. There are only 2 games that I've ever played, like, repeatedly on Congregate. One of them, oh my god, what's it called? It's called Rebuild 2, I believe, and it's a very, very simplistic strategy game wherein you are a tiny colony of people trying to reclaim a city after and or during the zombie apocalypse. That game I played a ton, like my first year in college, and it's just like the perfect combination of strategy and chance and, I don't know, atmosphere, even though it's so simplistic that there really is hardly any atmosphere. The only other game I ever really played avidly on Congregate was a game called Fearless, which was just a side-scroller game. And I don't even know how to describe it. It's very, very simplistic, but it was pixel art and it was beautiful. The color palette was beautiful. The idea was just so childlike and charming but scary. And the soundtrack, I have it on my phone because it's phenomenal. So Rebuild 2 and Fearless are the only 2 games that I've actually played avidly on Congregate. Also, another game I love is The Binding of Isaac. I'm really, really bummed out about Rebirth because it doesn't have Danny Baranowski's composing. Danny Baranowski is the greatest composer of all time. Fight me. His contributions to the original Binding of Isaac are most of the reason why I loved it so much. I think that if there was some kind of patch or somebody modded the newer Binding of Isaac so that you could have the old music, my life would be complete. So that's another one. I'm sorry. This is all the wine I had. That's how much of a lightweight I am. This is what antidepressants do to you. I am all over the place. And that's all I had. 7 Days to Die is like Minecraft. Okay. I'm trying to think. I've watched Tech Support Husbando play so many games. I know I've watched him play 7 Days to Die. Does it get really, really scary? Like when you hit day 7, is it really, really scary? Is that one? Mort is a cool gal. You are incorrect, Gaming Jones, but I love you. Okay, you've played Rebuild? Oh my god. The 3rd one came out on Steam. Nuh-uh. I'm gonna buy it, dude. I'm gonna buy it. I didn't know that there was a new, like, Rebuild. You love Isaac. I love Isaac too. I love the lore. It's so charming. It was funny because Jonan Vasquez, the creator of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Invader Zim, his style reminded me, like, when I started playing The Binding of Isaac before it got, like, really popular. His name is Edmund McMullen, right? The guy who made The Binding of Isaac games. McMullen's art style is so reminiscent of Jonan Vasquez's style. So reminiscent. Like, it screamed like Jonan Vasquez to me, just the art style. And then when I started following Jonan on different social media accounts, it was really cool to me to find out that he loves The Binding of Isaac, you know? Which shouldn't surprise me, obviously, because they're very, very similar styles. Just the bleakness, the overall atmosphere of everything Vasquez does is very similar to The Binding of Isaac. But that's the kind of stuff that I love. And that's why this really cute, like, independently animated adult cartoon that's coming out next year called Has Been Hotel, that's why I love things like that. Anything that still appeals to, like, the childlike part of you, anything that has simplistic, charming, kind of over-the-top, outlandish character designs and environments, but has some kind of dark twist and also acknowledges, like, the really, really dark aspects of life. You know, sort of like Invader Zim or like The Binding of Isaac or something like that. Those are the things that I love more than anything. Those are the things that really, really resonate with me. Oh, there's just a bunch of zombies and they move fast. Okay. Okay. Tech support has Bando does not like horror games. It's not something he's super into. So maybe he thought it gets very scary, and I wouldn't. I gravitate toward like the horror genre of gaming, movies, anything a lot more than he does. I'm a lot more into like X-rated sort of racy stuff and horror stuff than he is, which I know is a weird dynamic in a heterosexual relationship. It's normally the other way around. The third one came out in 2015. Dude, I don't know. I was like toward the end of college in I graduated in 2015. I'm sweaty, I'm sorry. I've got to change positions or I'm going to slide off the chair. I didn't know that the latest rebuild had been out that long or at all. I liked Fearless, but it was funny. It was like there was something about a very high-speed side-scroller game like that. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this too, since most of you guys in the chat. When you're playing a very, very fast side-scroller game and then you stop, your vision scans like crazy. Like your vision is conditioned to keep scrolling like the side-scroller did, you know? And it's like the same effect almost as when you spin around really fast and then stop. Like your brain is still going while the rest of you stops. It's really weird. If you ever want a cheap punch in the feels, try Among the Sleep. I actually own Among the Sleep and I never played it. It's on 35% sale right now. Okay, I might do that. I almost never buy Steam games. Like lately I've just been doing goofy visual novel games. Okay, I'm so sorry you guys. Let me get back to this. I want to at least finish this one stupid quiz before I'm just in a stupor and have to like crawl off to bed. I'd like to get lost in thought. Yes, that is my favorite pastime. I distrust people. Yes, I know how to get things done. No, I'm not easily annoyed. The problem is this question was asked with different wording already, so I'm contradicting myself because of how much I'm biased by just the way it's worded this time. I know that, but I'm gonna say neutral. Things get on my nerves in an anxiety way, very easily, but it's hard to make me angry. As I've said a couple times, I learned to, I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, or I would have muted the mic. I've learned to temper my anger, so I'm gonna be neutral on that one. I avoid crowds, yes. I do not enjoy going to art galleries or exhibitions. I disagree, but I don't strongly disagree. And the reason why is because any kind of exhibition or gallery or any kind of like public viewing or presentation of anything, there are going to be a lot of people there, and that scares me. But the art itself or whatever is on display at some kind of event like that, I love. I am uncooperative, space. I obstruct other people's plans. Not on purpose, but I find myself doing that a lot. I leave my bits and pieces and belongings around. Yes. I feel comfortable with myself. See, I'm gonna go neutral on that one because I don't like myself, but I also don't scrutinize myself. I did a lot when I was younger, but I'm to the point now where I just don't. Obviously, there's a lot of self-improvement that can and must be done here. But I'm more or less just resigned to and apathetic toward the fact that this is my prison. This is my flesh prison. So I'm gonna be neutral on that. I wait for others to take the lead, yes. I don't understand people who get emotional, not at all. I'm the kind of person who, when my depression is really bad or when I am forced to confront things that are great sources of stress for me, I'll be the person in the middle of an event where like you under no circumstances can break down and cry. I'm the one breaking down and crying because I just can't handle things. So I understand those people a lot. I empathize with people who are furious or elated by something, or who are a mess, you know, regardless of whether it's an appropriate venue for that or not. I totally relate to those people. I don't have time for other people. That's not true. I break my promises. I'm going to say disagree. My aversion to people and events that I perceive as stressful would probably mean that I'm sure I've broken promises to people in the past, as far as going to things for people or doing or grabbing things for people, like running errands, etc. So I can't strongly disagree, but I will disagree on that one. I'm not bothered by difficult social situations. That's not true at all. The anticipation of difficult social situations almost kills me. And sometimes it's very interesting. I will just snap into this freakish mode where this other Michelle takes over, where I am poised and I am focused on the other person, and I know how to, like, sort of deftly, you know, like, direct the conversation and things like that. And what's interesting, again, I'm rambling, I'm so sorry. What's interesting about that is the deciding factor as to whether I cannot function versus me somehow switching into this mode where this other Michelle takes over and gets done what needs done is what's at stake. Like, if it's a funeral, if it's an event where someone I love is enduring a hardship or needs my help, something like that, if I perceive whatever is going on to be more important than me, to where my emotions and my own problems take the back seat, when it's one of those situations where it's not about me, I'm able to put all of that stress on the back burner, and I'm just able to do what needs done miraculously. But if it's something that's not like a huge commitment, or it's not something where somebody's depending on you, that's when I get stuck in that terror and anxiety and all that garbage. So I'm going to say I strongly disagree that I'm not bothered by social situations. And I guess the reason why I went into all that is because even in those few times when I actually am able to do a really, really good job of almost like being socially adept, you know, even in those few times, once I get home, then I have to sleep for like 14 hours. To even start to feel normal. And even then I feel like I've got a hangover or like the flu or something, because it takes a massive toll on me to be in situations that are very, very high stress. Hi everybody. Keep rambling. Okay. Hi. I like to take it easy. Yes and no. This is one of those things where, again, it goes back to my apathy, and just kind of having resigned myself to existing. Like, I don't know if I take it easy. I don't know if I indulge too much. I don't know if I'm good at resisting temptation, because there isn't enough desire in me to even contextualize things in that way, if that makes any sense. Do I like to take it easy? I don't know. I feel like I do a lot. Like, I take, like, bubble baths with Epsom salts where I just relax, like, once or twice a week. Because I'm learning that I need to do that to de-stress and to maintain and not fall apart. I take naps almost every day. Like, when I get home from work, I'll nap for, like, an hour and a half to 4 hours if things get out of control. But that's because of my depression, and I just have awful fatigue, and I don't know how to not be completely wiped out after interacting with the same people I've interacted with every day for a year. So do I like to take it easy? Not really. But I do a lot. So I haven't the slightest idea how to answer this question. I'm a mess. This was mostly ice cubes, I swear, and this is how much of a mess I am from just this much cheap wine. I need to go to bed soon. Okay. I like to take it easy. Sure. I'll go in the middle. Sure. Neutral. I don't know. I'm attached to conventional ways. Why didn't they put the really hard to comprehend questions up top when I had a glass of wine in the cup instead of in my bloodstream? What does it mean? I am attached to conventional ways. I'm gonna have to say not really. Even when I was wee little, like, when I was so little that I thought you just randomly had a baby, like when you got pregnant, it was completely by chance. I vowed never to get married because I was not having children. Like, I've always liked animals more than people. I've always liked solitude more than socializing. I don't know, a lot of like the traditional conservative values that I find myself neck deep in, just considering my political affiliation, they do not resonate with me whatsoever, and they never have. So I'm gonna say disagree, but not strongly disagree. I always even the score with others. No, not really. I put little time and effort into my work. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. Because I'd like to think I try hard at things, but I get so discouraged so quickly that... No, you know what? I don't think of things in that context, but no, I do not put little time and effort into my work. I'm able to control my cravings. My cravings? The problem with cravings is that they require some kind of engagement with existing. I don't know. Am I able to control my cravings? I don't know. Sure. I act zany and outrageously. Yes, because I am too broken to act normal. I am not interested in theoretical discussions. That's not true. I'm fascinated by things like that. I don't feel equipped with enough knowledge and critical thinking ability to partake in them necessarily, but I think they're fascinating. I boast about my virtues. Not really. I mean, I feel like I do a little bit just because that's like a prerequisite to be a conservative, but not really, no. I have difficulty starting tasks. Yes. I spend so much time worrying about how to do things correctly that I usually just end up not doing them. I remain calm under pressure, very much so. Well, yes. And I guess I'm gonna look at this as if pressure is something different than difficult social situations, which I guess kind of harkens back to the rambling about how when there's something going on, when there's a deadline, when there's something really difficult happening, but I need to be there for someone I care about, or if I can contextualize it in a way where I remember that it's not about me, then I do a phenomenal job. The recourse, I guess, from that is me being completely wiped out for days afterward, both mentally and physically, but I'm very, very good when it needs to be done at remaining calm under pressure. I look at the bright side of life. No. I believe that we should be very tough on crime. As a whole, yes. I try not to think about the needy. No, not really. I mean, I don't think I dwell on it enough. Because it's just one of those things where I see all of these charities. I follow all these different organizations, like on Instagram, who try to, you know, catch feral cats, and who try to find foster homes for pregnant mom cats and things like that. Or just different shelters for people who have been through a variety of different traumas, or like Operation Our Rescue, which the members of which do these stings where they go into countries where they are in mortal danger, and they shut down child sex trafficking rings and things like that. I see all these things. And I'm 25, you know, I'm I'm living with my fiance. I'm 25. I have my first real stable job just now. We're barely getting on our feet. We're barely putting any money away. It's one of those things where I dwell on that stuff a lot. But to an extent, I also try not to dwell on it too much, because there's not much I can do about it. In 10 years from now, I will be giving an insane amount of what I make to different charities. But at this time, I just can't. So, in that regard, to a very small extent, I try not to think about it, because if I lament over the fact that I'm powerless to help all of the people and little fuzzy animals that I want to help, nothing will ever be accomplished. So, I guess that's why I'll go with disagree, but not strongly. Disagree. I act without thinking. I don't know. See, this is one of those things where this question somewhat seems like the previous question where it said that you do things without considering the consequences. Or at least that's how I interpreted the previous very similar question. I think about things more than is healthy before making a decision. But this seems almost different in that I'm on autopilot almost all the time. I don't challenge myself. I don't think critically about things or philosophically about like the implications for the rest of my life and who I am as a person before I act. And I know that's not what they're asking, but that's how I'm reading it. I act without thinking. I almost think that I spend so much time like premeditating every minuscule thing I do that as I've gotten older, I'm forcing myself to be more reckless and spontaneous, because I don't live, you know, I don't take any risks. I don't do anything that makes you feel even remotely sentient. It's not in my nature, so I almost feel like I'm pushing myself more toward acting without thinking. Which, none of that helped me. None of that helped me decide how to answer this. I overthink things that are completely irrelevant, but I act without thinking on important things a lot. Not sure how I'd answer that. Yeah, I know. It's like, I wish whoever had authored this test was here for me to pour all of my lamentations onto, because I haven't the slightest idea how to interpret this. No, I would say no, I don't act without thinking. Compared to other people, I do not. Okay. Hold on, I need to hydrate. My circulatory system is almost all wine at the moment, so just give me a minute. Got some gross water bottle ASMR there too for free. Okay. Next. Do I get my answers now? What's gonna happen? What? What did I do wrong? You only answered 119. What? Where? Oh, it took me... That's so nice. It took me back to it. I complete tasks successfully. I don't know. Sure. Neutral. I complete tasks enough that I don't get, like, put in jail. Or fired. But that's about all the more successful I perceive my efforts to be. Okay, cool. Next. Oh no, it's asking me things and stuff. Okay. After reading your free test report, you have the option. Yes, phone? Okay, don't worry about it. You have the option to buy an extended report. Okay, good, good. It's not mandatory. I am a female. My age is 25. I am from United States. United States. My educational level is college. Wait. What's the difference between college and university? If I have my bachelor's degree, that's college, right? University would be like master's. But I got my degree from the University of Akron. I'm going to say university because I'm very smart and I feel like my educational level is university. Cool. Okay. What's going to happen? What are my results? No. What? Get your full premium report worth USD $17.99 for free by answering a short commercial survey. What? Why? What? Why? Do I have to? I don't want to. I mean, I want it. I want it. I want the internet to tell me interesting things about myself. I want to be able to get these things for the price of a short commercial survey as opposed to the price of years and years and years of therapy. But no. I'm just show me my standard report, please. Okay, hold on. Before we do this, I've got to build up the tension. What are you guys saying? In regard to overthinking, White Squall said, to give an example, I didn't go shopping in person till I was 25 because I didn't know how I was supposed to interact with the cashier. I still don't know how I'm supposed to interact with the cashier ever. It is a minefield trying to just execute a very simple unit of small talk with a cashier. Maybe that's just an Ohio thing, but it's still a wild adventure for me. IQ of 200 for sure. Me? I most certainly do not have an IQ of 200 if you're talking about me. When I was doing my testing to get into school when I was little, my IQ was 141. Interestingly enough, the only famous person I've ever found with the same IQ as me is Hitler. And I still don't know how to feel about that. But, it's nowhere near 200. Without the depression and Zoloft, it might be 150, I would say. But it's... No, thank you, but no. Okay. No thanks, just don't show me my standard report. Okay. Oh. The Big Five personality test offers a concise measure of the 5 major factors of personality, as well as the 6 facets that define each factor. That's more complex than I'm able to comprehend at this point. Factor scores give a broad global description. I'm very intoxicated. Of an individual. Facet scores describe in more detail the specific traits of personality that make up the broad global description. I'm going to pretend I retained any of the words I just read, and I'm going to read the things now. Okay. So, visual summary of your results. Openness to experience. I'm assuming the scale is from 0 to 100. My openness to experience is 33. That seems about accurate. Okay, delicious. Conscientiousness, 16. I'm offended by that. Extroversion. I got one. Nice. Agreeableness, 60. Yes. The entirety of my pathology is just the desperation, the ravenous desire to be agreeable, to be good enough, to be acceptable. So yeah, 60 seems about right. Natural reactions, 85. Which seems like a very charitable way to frame the inability to control my emotions and my fight or flight response. But sure, 85, I'll take it. Textual summary of your report. So, yeah, the big 5, as they are called, are, as it said above, openness to experience, conscientiousness is work ethic. Well, that's not very nice. I don't know if I like that. I feel offended. Okay, extroversion, agreeableness, and natural reactions. Okay, so openness to experience. I'm fairly low on that. So describing a low range scoring person. Traditionalist, down to earth, practical, conservative. Practical would definitely be charitable, but sure, I'll take it. it's odd that conscientiousness is synonymous with work ethic here. That's very peculiar to me. So low conscientiousness scores, myself, denote spontaneous, disorganized, prefers flexible plans. I'm not spontaneous, but I'm very disorganized, so I see how I got the low end here. Extroversion, I got 1 out of 100. So reserved, formal, serious, quiet. That makes sense, I suppose. Agreeableness, one of the few I got a high scoring on. So wait, middle, okay, middle agreeableness, middle, I'm not drunk, you're drunk. Middle agreeableness, leaning toward high. Compassionate, eager to please, good-natured. Whereas low scoring would be hard-headed, skeptical, competitive, and proud. Okay. Natural reactions, I got an 85 clearly, so that's a very high scoring. Experiences negative emotional reactions and feelings of anxiety, prone to worry. That's why I got an 85 out of 100. That's very much me. Okay. Understanding the scores. This report ranks your scores within a range from very low to very high to enable you to make a comparison. The percentage of people asterisk who normally fall within each range is indicated. Okay, so it's just normal percentiles. Okay. The strongest personality factor. The factor test score furthest away from 50 above or below indicates the person's strongest personality trait. I see. Okay, this personality trait is likely to have the greatest influence on your overall behavior, motivation, values, and reactions to life and work situations, of course. The next furthest away from 50, above or below, is likely to have the next greatest influence, and so on. Okay. I was gonna say she was cute, but sober, she would probably be about a 4. Okay. I'm focusing on task. I am on task. That is something that I am right now. So that means that my level of extroversion, which is extremely low, is the most influential on my personality. Yes, I would say so. I definitely think that a lot of my personality is due to limiting, inhibiting factors, as opposed to being determined by what I actually enjoy or who I actually am. So in this regard, I would say that like the level of influence the test says that each factor has is accurate, but as far as those actually being like personality factors, yes, it is a factor, but it's one of those things where as far as like introversion versus extroversion, and like natural reactions, mine being very, very high anxiety and negative emotional reactions to anxiety, those are less actual facets of one's personality and more just limiters that I wish didn't cripple my personality. But that's just the sad truth of my life, I suppose. So that would mean that my extremely low score of extroversion is the most influential factor. That being reserved, formal, serious, and quiet characteristics. Then the next most influential, of course, is the high natural reactions, which are negative emotional reactions and feelings to anxiety and prone to worry. So the next would be my kind of middle of the road agreeableness. Next, of course, being the fact that I am not so open to experience, meaning traditionalist, down to earth, practical, and conservative. Okay, this is very interesting. I'm gonna have to, when I'm done here, take a screenshot of this because I'm not gonna remember any of this tomorrow. That's how much of a lightweight I am. But okay, that's very interesting, actually. I guess it's kind of Obviously, it's going to feel a bit more impersonal and technical to take a more psychologically accurate test. I feel like most tests that try to assess your personality, even like the Myers-Briggs personality types, like you're an ENTJ or whatever, or an INTJ or an INFT or whatever, I feel like even that sort of like personality screening assessment, etc. test almost kind of panders to the user to an extent, by framing the opposite ends of every spectrum that it measures as equally beneficial or equally valid traits to have, where this doesn't really feel that way. I mean, it sucks that my very high like score of natural reactions does limit so much of what I'm capable of, you know, as far as like on a daily basis, as far as hanging out with friends, as far as what kind of job I can actually take on regardless of, you know, any of my other abilities or capabilities in those fields. It sucks, but I definitely feel like this is more accurate and more reflective of my personality than any of the other, you know, sort of cutesy, sort of like pop cultural personality tests I've taken thus far, I suppose. I don't know. That's very interesting. She's like a 7. You are incorrect. Everyone knows you need an IQ of 200 to watch Rick and Morty. Oh, okay. How much or how high does your IQ have to be to actually get included in the article about fan fiction writing Rick Sanchez fangirls? Because that I should at least have an IQ of 400 for being dragged into that mess, I think. She's like a 7. No, sir, she's not. That girl? No. Oh no, I can't scroll sideways. Where's the lady? She's not a 7. Are you blind? She's not a 7. She's like maybe a 5. Maybe a 5. Openness is 17 away from 50, and agreeableness is 10. So agreeableness is the trait that affects you the least, not openness. Well, whatever. Your mom gay. Okay. I guess I understand that. No, I see what you're saying. Okay. So the ones that are more middle are less influential. It did indeed say that everywhere I looked, didn't it? I'm intelligent, I promise. Okay. So yeah, the agreeableness is the least influential. I apologize. I do the thing where I'm looking at the highest to lowest numbers and looking at them that way. All right. Okay, so yeah, I suppose that does make sense. So the extroversion level would be the most defining. The natural reactions would be next. 5 is average. She's above average, I assure you. I don't look at evaluating the attractiveness of a person the same way that I look at grading tests. Like, by just passing, you're not a 6. By just passing, you don't get to be a 6.5. No. That's not how this works. We do not rate people's attractiveness the same way as the completely broken American educational system grades people. That's not how this works. It's just not. I disagree, good sir. Well, oh my god, it's 2:20 a.m. When did that happen? Huh. Actually, I don't think tonight we are going to get to IQtest.com, the emotional intelligence quiz, or the Kinsey scale test, which tests your sexuality and tells you where on the spectrum you fall. I went from least fun test to most fun in the order that I ordered my little tabs because I thought we would build up to the more fun things. However, this took forever, so I'm gonna have to save the other tests for another time, unfortunately. I don't know what else to say. My little places where Mira scratched my chest by like leaping off of me have gotten better. They're not horrifically red anymore. I'm not riddled with guilt worrying about the tiny little bit of wine in my fridge going bad, because now it's all gone. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That's about it. I don't know. I suppose I should just go through all of my normal things I say. Thank you, of course, all very much for watching. And thank you, seriously, I am more grateful than I could ever convey that you guys are so sweet and so cool and funny and supportive, and it just blows my mind that you guys find anything I do noteworthy enough and rewarding enough to actually stick around and watch my videos and hear me out on my various opinions on things. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me in the best way possible. Hope you have a good night. I'm sorry, Charles. I'm leaving. I need to be a normal person who actually gives warning before I stream, but just the way I am right now, I have to be in the mood, and if I lose the desire to stream and then I try to, it's a train wreck. So I do it very spontaneously, unfortunately. But I genuinely am, I'm more grateful to you guys, and I love you guys more than you will ever know. People are always going to say that none of your relationships with people you meet on the internet are authentic, but you guys are remarkable, and how kind and sweet and funny and respectful and considerate you guys are of all of my nonsense it's one of the reasons I keep doing this, and it's one of the reasons I have even the slightest positive outlook on life. If I can make even one person's life a little bit better, if I can make even one person just laugh, whether intentionally or not on my end, if I can make at least one person think, oh my god, I'm not the only one who feels that way, or oh my god, I'm not the only person going through that, then all of this effort was completely worth it. So thank you guys for about the 18th time. I love you dearly, and don't ever hesitate, of course, to get a hold of me. I'm notoriously bad at getting back to people. I have a lot of anxiety surrounding talking to people. If you DM me on Twitter, for example, it'll probably take me a week to get back to you, because I don't ever want to give anybody less than what they deserve, I guess. And if somebody goes out of their way to reach out to me, I feel like they deserve all of my consideration and attention before I respond. You know, if you ever want to message me on any social media platform I'm on, please don't hesitate, and don't take it personally if I don't respond right away, because I'm very, very nervous and awkward about that, and super, super forgetful. And I just want you to know that if there's any way I can encourage you guys or offer you advice or cheer you up in any way, I am more than happy to. And, yeah. Hi, Jump Pogo. I'm going away now. Why does everybody always show up right when I'm leaving? The only thing we need left is for Vorst to show up right now, because Vorst always shows up, like, within the last 8 seconds of the stream. Yeah. We're none of those things, though. A dude was trying to get an armpit fetish going earlier. I don't think that's what he was after. I think it just kind of came up. It was one of those things that just kind of happened. I don't think that was what he was after. We'll see, though. He'll probably be back. We'll see. And yeah, remember to grab Rebuild 3 while it's on sale on Steam, or wait till the summer sale. Oh my god, I forgot the Steam summer sale is coming up. That's something to look forward to. My timing is abysmal. Indeed, my friend. But yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. So, of course, just, you know, if you ever want to get a hold of me, please do not hesitate. I'm always here. And, you know, if I can help any of you in any capacity, that's all I want, you know. So yeah, I suppose that's all. I have a scripted, recorded, disastrous one of those videos coming out soon, and yeah, I suppose until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful night and or day and or afternoon, etc., wherever you are. If today is not phenomenal, please resolve to make tomorrow better. And just thank you, and I love you guys dearly. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.